I saw another day, all I do is scream into the night. Nothing ever tries to change, even if I want to realize. 'Cause I've been sitting here, same old ways, taking off without the same mistake. Darling, where you going? It won't be as simple for you.
Everyone, welcome back to Red Devil Studio. Today it's me, Maisie, again. You've got me twice in 1 week. Lucky people. But it's just unlucky what I've got to talk about today. We'll be talking about the match reaction for Manchester United versus Wolves. All I can say is an absolute disgraceful game what I have witnessed today. I watched the game and I do question to myself, is this the right formation going forward for Manchester United? We've got a 4-2-2 formation and I do question to myself, is there enough players who does suit this 4-2-2 formation rather than suiting other formations? We sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer several months ago, and we sacked him because we're not getting the results. But it's still escalating because we've got Ralf Rangnick, who managers such as Tuchel, such as Klopp, look up to and call him the godfather of football. When you have a manager such as Rangnick and you're not doing anything for the team, you've got to question to yourself, is it more than just the managers now? Is it the players who are really not doing anything for the club? Before I do continue with this show, I will be going through the comments. Everyone who's watching right now, please hit the like and subscribe button. This channel's on the road for 3K subscribers, and it'd be absolutely brilliant if we are able to get that hit. So what we'll do, go through some of the comments. Big up to you, Niall. Thank you for tuning in. Yes, I can get you to come on in the next maybe 10 minutes or so. I can get the link sent to you in around 10 minutes. We'll do a quick speech on how you are feeling so far with the performance. Hello, my queen. I hope you're well. Hello, Eddie's Football. Yeah, it is in the mud, and I do question myself what is going on. Clearly, the formation isn't working. The players aren't playing for Manchester United, so you do question to yourself, what was the point in having this change? What was the point in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer getting sacked if we're still not getting the results? We should be getting 3 points against Newcastle. We should be getting 3 points against Wolves. I do understand that Wolves is a completely different team to Newcastle, to Burnley, to Norwich. But these wins, what we have been getting, they are pretty scrappy wins, because you look at Norwich, and if it wasn't for David De Gea, we would have been out that game. Mr. Mans, big up to you. Thank you for tuning in. Here's S, biggest banter club in Europe. Yes, it is a banter club at the moment. It is a disgrace at the moment, I must say. But I wouldn't exactly call ourselves banter club just yet, as there's still Barcelona about in Europe. If Ralph fails, can we agree it's something more than just a manager? Yes, I do believe it is something more than a manager. If you look at post Sir Alex Ferguson, we've had David Moyes, we've had Louis van Gaal. We've had Jose Mourinho. We've had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We've had Ralph Rangnick. We've had Ryan Giggs as a caretaker manager. How many more managers do we need to actually succeed? And I do question, is it more than just a manager now? Ronaldo is the worst player in the league right now. Don't compare him to the GOAT. Niall, I'll send you the link in around 10 minutes time. Hit the like. Big up to you, Maisie. Big up to you. Thank you. Ragball, 0 bounce. Yes, I am going to accept all this banter today. Signed the OUS. How good is Rangnick really? I don't even think it's down to Rangnick now. It's more down to these players. And they're not wanting to perform on the pitch. And there is several things what I think could be changed in terms of a manager's perspective, such as the formation. But if you're putting a bunch of 11 people on and they're just playing like individuals rather than playing as a team, you're not going to get anywhere neither. Hello, Colin. Thank you very much for tuning in. As Roy Keane said, this team will throw any manager under the bus. I think he is correct. Yeah, I agree. I think he is absolutely correct as well, to be honest. We need to use 4-3-3 now. Yeah, I agree. 4-3-3 for me is my preferred formation. I really do like the 4-3-3 formation just because when you look at teams who have won the league, who has won the Champions League, you don't see the kind of formations such as a 4-2-3-1 or the Jenner pressing 4-2-2-2. You always see that 4-3-3 formation. So I really do prefer that kind of formation. Bring back Carrick. I don't even know what on an ideal basis, what manager could be able to sort out these egos of the club, and I really don't know. Where is the high tempo we were promised? You can put that high pressing to the players, but if the players aren't doing it on the pitch compared to what they're doing in training, it's going to be completely different for them. These United fans are rattled. Thank you for the super chat. Old Man G, he is unavailable, so you've got my lovely face for today's stream. Hopefully I'll be just as good as Old Man G for you though. Hello to you too. Thank you for tuning in. Luke Shaw back to his shapeless best. This wasn't a good game for Luke Shaw. If you did watch the show I did yesterday on the preview, I did say that the best kind of fullbacks we should have picked was Dalot and Telles. Just for the reason, knowing how well defensively structured Wolves are, which we are clearly seeing today, we needed to have the attacking threat as our fullbacks. I actually think Wan-Bissaka didn't do bad in terms of his crossing, but when you look at Luke Shaw, he did have a yellow card, and he could have potentially had 2 yellow cards, and he was lucky to get away with it. Disgraceful performance, I completely agree. 4-3-3 is a 4-5-1 in transition. It's because I'll just ignore that one. So we have got this one here. Arsenal are angry at not beating City. We are dominated, and Arsenal fans are angry at losing to Wolves. We are not the same. Yeah, we should be losing these kind of points, and you can understand from a Man United's opinion why you would be so angry, to be honest. Ronaldo is killing the game. 0 goals in 10 starts, I believe. Yeah, he hasn't been really scoring them goals. People are saying it's because he's not been getting the service. I could think of just in the first half with Ronaldo, he did have the service twice with Aaron Wan-Bissaka, but he didn't grasp onto them headers. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start about my opinion on this game. I'm going to start with the first half in particular because the first half was much worse than the second half, despite us conceding in that second half. With the first half, we really wasn't there at all. Wolves were dominating us completely. they had roughly around the first half 56% possession of the ball. And whereas with Manchester United, we was more a counter-attacking team, which should not be the case. We shouldn't be a counter-attacking team when we have got such good individuals there who are more than capable to hold possession of the ball. I could see just in the first half, there was players who did give the ball away ever so cheaply. Scott McTominay did give the ball away roughly around 6 times in 25 minutes. And then you had Matic who who did give the ball away a couple of times. Cavani, he was dropping back deep quite a lot, but the problem was with Cavani, once he did pick up the ball, because there was 2-3 Wolves players around him then, he wasn't able to give the ball away to somebody else. I think when you do look at the lineup, what we did have, Mason Green playing as a wide player, I do feel like that was an incorrect choice, just for the reason with him playing as the wide player. He is more of a natural striker role than he is as a wide player, and getting used as a wide player alongside Jadon Sancho wasn't really exactly beneficial. I know he was used as a wide player against Burnley, but sometimes when you're playing against Burnley and playing against Wolves, they're two different completely different teams. Burnley isn't as well defensively structured as Wolves are, and you've noticed Wolves, they barely concede many goals, as well as they don't really score that many goals. So we always know that they are going to put a good defensive performance in against us. And in that first half, we had Podence. He had 2 shots on target, and if it wasn't for De Gea, they would have been 2-0 up at half time. They had Ruben Neves, who took a shot outside the box, and if, for example, he did have that shot and it did go in, it would have been an absolute thunderbolt from Ruben Neves. Coming into that second half, we were still the exact same. Wolves was on that more of an attacking display, unlike Manchester United. We did bring on Bruno Fernandes around the 50th, 55th minute. Bruno Fernandes, for me, I feel like once he came on, Manchester United was so much better defensively. However, there was still them times where Wolves had that opportunity, especially once Adama Traore did come on. Wolves were so much better on the counter-attack. I think we did have a couple of shots there, so we had a few more set pieces, a few more corners once Bruno Fernandes came on. We did have a disallowed goal from Cristiano Ronaldo from a set piece, and that would have been our first set piece goal of the season. Knowing that the players we have at Manchester United, and we haven't been able to score a set piece goal, a corner goal, we haven't been able to score or a free kick neither. You do look at that and you think, how are we not scoring in these type of games? And I do question about that as well. But when we did take that shot with Bruno Fernandes and it went on Cristiano Ronaldo as a goal, it was clearly offside straight from the beginning, because Cristiano Ronaldo, he was on an offside position before the whistle blew. Maybe if, for example, it could have been a bit better if before the whistle blew, we could have said to Ronaldo, like, you're in an offside position, just so we didn't start it up. But we should know where the offside is and what's an offside and what isn't. So that was one opportunity what did leave. And then, of course, there was that next goal, the goal then from Martinho. That was from a cross from Adama Traore. Then it was a miss, I think it got headed away by Phil Jones, but it wasn't cleared good enough. Martinho ended up getting the ball, and he scored on the 81st minute. And I do look at that and I think, why was there no men who was man-marking Martinho? I can understand there's going to be people in the box, but we still need to man-mark. And if there is 11 Wolves players on the pitch, we need to man-mark all these 11 Wolves players depending where they are. So each Man United player should be man-marking these Wolves players, but that was not the case at all. None of them were man-marking any of the players apart from the ones in the box. So that could give the opportunity to Martinho, and he scored. He took that advantage. When you do look at the game overall, I do believe it was the correct decision to give Podence the man of the match. I do feel like with Podence, he did play a very, very good game. Then 2 shots on target, what he did have in the first half. I do look at that. I think that it was very, very good from him. I'm gonna go through some of the stats as well from the game, because they had a lot more shots on target than we did, for one. And it's just no words really what to describe how to describe it, to be honest. But overall, you can just say that it's so disappointing. Martinho, he got king of the match according to fantasy football, for anyone who does have him there and the fantasy football. But overall, there was several yellow cards taken out in the game. Scott McTominay got a yellow card on the 48th minute. Luke Shaw had a yellow card on the 56th minute. Nemanja Matic had a yellow card on the 74th minute on that tackle with Adama Traore. Personally, I don't know what he was doing, giving the ball, giving that yellow, like, that foul away so cheaply right near the box. And we was extremely lucky that they didn't do anything at that point with that free kick, because we all know Adama Traore does have that pace. And when he is on that counter-attack, we need to be extremely careful of what happens. But we just wasn't ready for it whatsoever, and it did give that advantage to Wolves, of course. So, in terms of the stats, possession, Manchester United had 58% possession of the ball. Wolves had 41%. So, by the end of the game, they was much more in a counter-attacking team, but they still managed to get the win. So they took that advantage, of course. Manchester United had 11 total shots to Wolves' 9 total shots. But, however, Manchester United only had 3 shots on target compared to Wolves' 5 shots on target. And off target, Manchester United had 5 off on target and Wolves had 2 off on target. Manchester United had 3 blocks and Wolves had 2 blocks. Man United had 87% passing accuracy to Wolves' 81% passing accuracy. Manchester United had 2 clear-cut chances. Wolves had none. We both had 2 corners each. Manchester United had 4 offsides to Wolves' 2 offsides. Man United had 26% tackles to Wolves' 43% tackles. Aerial duels percentage, Man United had 59% to Wolves' 40%. Man United had 5 saves to Wolves' 2 saves. Man United committed 11 fouls to 7 fouls. Man United won 7 fouls, Wolves won 11 fouls. And there was 3 yellow cards for Man United to Wolves, 1 yellow card to United with Jose Sarr. But for me, Jose Sarr, it wasn't that much of a problem. It wasn't that much of a problem for his yellow card, because it was more based on the fact that it was time wasting. So I wanted to touch on a player just because he hadn't been playing for quite a while, and that was Phil Jones. He played his first game today. He started the first game since Tranmere Rovers. So that was since January 2020, and he hasn't started for another game since. So it's been quite a while since he had started. Over 700 days since he last started a game. And you know what? what I actually do believe. I actually do believe that Phil Jones had a better game than I have seen of Harry Maguire this season. Harry Maguire hasn't had one good game for me this season, but I genuinely believe that Phil Jones was one of our better players. If you look, especially in that first half, all the clearances, all the headers away, was mostly created by Phil Jones. He was extremely quick. His reactions were brilliant, and you would not think that he had been He hasn't been playing for over 2 years. I'm gonna go through a couple more of the comments. It's time for CR7 to retire. This is reality. Why does McTominay start? McTominay has been the only outfield player who has actually started 10 Man United games. And I do believe that McTominay, he didn't really deserve to play that full 90 minutes. He was giving the ball away quite a lot for me in that first half. And in the second half, he wasn't exactly brilliant for me neither. Man United need therapy. Phil Jones better than Maguire. I will agree with that. And I agree with this comment as well. Top 4 is gone. And for people who still genuinely believe that we should get into top 4, I really can't see it, especially now we've got Arsenal, who are doing well. We've got Spurs, who are doing well as well. So it is going to be extremely hard. And if we are wanting that top 4, we can't be dropping points against Wolves. We can't be dropping points also against Newcastle. 0 trophies in 5 years. How are United seen as a top club? That's fair enough. And to be honest, we shouldn't be seen as a top club if we haven't won any trophies. We should be competing in everything what we do, and we haven't competed in anything. The biggest shot of us winning the trophy was the Europa League last season. Why did Rashford come on? I think Rashford didn't do too bad when he did come on. But for me, he is better as an impactful sub rather than what he is as a starting 11 player. And he did put a little bit of pressure onto Wolves. But I definitely do believe that he does need that rest. The competition is too tight and we can't be able to find any form. I agree with that completely. I thought I would mention the stats beforehand. The reason why for that is because we have got the better stats, but then Wolves outplayed us. And that shouldn't be the case. When you look at them stats on paper, it should be us who are picking up them 3 points. We had more total shots. We had less shots on target, however, but we have more possession. It's not about the stats at the end of the day, but when you look at the stats, you will be questioning why isn't Manchester United coming out with that win? Phil Jones and Maguire, and I'm going to go with Phil Jones. Fair enough. I'm gonna give it you, to be honest. You can banter us all you want. FIFA derbies. We should go back to the 4-3-3 formation. Cavani, Greenwood, Alanga try that. That's a good idea, to be honest. Even try Ronaldo on the wings, I would say, in that left-hand side. Sancho on the right. Cavani up front. No reason why we can't try it, to be honest. So I'm gonna bring in our guest now, which is Niall. Hi, Niall. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How about you?
Well, thank you. So, what was your opinion on the game?
Only about bit of it because my Wi-Fi cut off. So
Okay.
I'm assuming I didn't miss much.
No, you didn't miss much at all, to be honest. The reason why I did say Ronaldo on the wings is because he still has the pace. So he still has pace, so you can still put him on the wings. He can still cross. So I don't see, we could try him on the wings. Doesn't necessarily mean it'll work, but we can still try him that way. So how did you feel about the game, Niall?
I think the McDill battle was lost by Ruben Neves and Martinho, and I think that United just couldn't like couldn't deal with Will's game plan, because I think the Wolves manager had a game plan and it stuck by it for the full game, and I thought Phil Jones played well for us, and as you talked on, he's not played since Tranmere game in 2020, and I think he's been one of the better players compared to Harry Maguire, in my opinion.
Would you personally give Phil Jones another shot in the centre backs if, for example, Lindelof isn't match fit for Aston Villa?
If Lindelof isn't fit, then I probably stick Phil Jones in there. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Phil Jones, he did play very well, and there has been a lot of criticism of Phil Jones over the years. I know a lot of United fans have been very critical with the injuries that he has had. He hasn't played, but he definitely really did put on a very good performance, and I was really surprised considering you haven't played for a long length of time, and he has managed to put on a good display. I actually think he played brilliant. Who would you say your man of the match was?
Probably the goalkeeper again, in my opinion.
Yeah, David De Gea then.
Yeah.
Going forward, because we've dropped points against Newcastle, we've lost points against Wolves. What are we going to do going forward to actually try and get these points? Is it the players? Is it the managers? What would you do?
I think it's a bit of both. I think it is the players and the managers. I think that probably are not playing for the manager, and some of them just, it might be a mentality issue or attitude, I believe.
So what would you do? Would you drop certain players now? Who would you drop?
It's a tough one. I would probably drop Harry Maguire for one, and probably Harry Maguire. A really tough one for me.
Would you drop anyone from today's game if you was gonna drop anyone?
Oh, right. Yeah, I think there was a few players that didn't perform.
Yes, they have destroyed us in 2 Champions League finals, but
Yes.
Barcelona is not the Barcelona team as they were when they did destroy us in 2 Champions Leagues neither. Colin, as a human being, I was happy for Phil Jones' first game in almost 2 years. Yeah, I was extremely happy for Phil Jones as well, because I think, especially with the amount of criticism he's been getting on social media, the media itself, he played a game and he put on a good display. I can't fault him one bit for it. So I definitely agree with Colin's comments. In terms of the substitutes, Niall, do you think these substitutes were impactful substitutes?
Who came on?
Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford, and Alanga.
I think the better ones is Rashford, Fernandes, and Alanda. It could have made a difference, but I just don't think it worked tonight.
Yeah, I was looking at it, and I think the attacking play definitely did improve under Bruno Fernandes. I think Marcus Rashford played a lot better in terms of the pressing, because he wasn't playing in that striker role in that 4-2-2. He was playing as a wide player, which we know Marcus Rashford is, because he came on for Jadon Sancho. So he was playing on the left-hand side because it was Jadon Sancho who was playing on the left. And I think it being in the middle of that 4-2-2, it was much better. Would you agree with that?
Say that again, sorry.
Would you agree he was better in that position at the 4-2-2 rather than up front?
Who got Ronaldo?
Rashford.
I think he's better. Like a striker. Do you agree with that, or do you share that?
He's more of a wing player for me, Marcus Rashford.
Yeah,
he's got the pace, but I don't think he suits the 4-2-2 up front alongside Ronaldo. I think if we were going to play that 4-2-2, I think we're probably better off him being where he did come on as a substitute. If we was going to play Marcus Rashford and then up front have Ronaldo and Cavani, or Ronaldo and Greenwood, or Cavani and Greenwood, do you know, something like that?
Yeah, that's true.
So, going forward, what would you do with the team?
I'd probably get them in training hard, no more excuses. Make them run about 100 laps and get them match fit and get a reaction for the double header against Aston Villa. See, hopefully the mentality can change.
Yeah, I'm hoping as well that the mentality does change, because we definitely do need a change now. And it's just a question of what we're going to do going forward to do that change. And I do question now, is the players, because there is also going to have, of course, players who doesn't want to play for the club, and I think there's going to need a serious clear out now. And it's just a question of who is going to be cleared out. But I think some Wolves players were very solid tonight. Ruben Neves for one. Podence was another who was very good. And for me, there was probably two standout players for me tonight.
Yeah, I think Neves was a standout tonight. I know Man U went to him, and I think the one you talked on was obviously good tonight. Yeah, and I think they were needing Amanda Traore's pace, because he can cross a ball, and I don't think, I know you talked on it, that Raul Jimenez isn't getting a service as of yet.
Yeah, he hasn't really been getting that service, but he did have a couple of shots where there was one in particular in the second half for me with Luke Shaw, but he kicked his knee went into Luke Shaw's leg rather than hitting the ball, and you could look at that as more of a chance for Jimenez. But I do agree that this season he hasn't had the chances what we were really hoping for, because before his injury, Jimenez, he was considered one of the better strikers in the league, one of the best strikers in the league. People would compare him to people will probably put him on level of like Harry Kane at that moment in time. Some people put him on the level of how Aguero was playing too, some Wolves fans. And I think if, for example, Wolves are going to want to succeed as a team, they've got that defensive attitude. They just now need to look at their attacking options. They need to look at wingers. They need to look at creative midfielders to actually start getting some service there for Jimenez.
Yeah, I absolutely share that view with you, yeah. I think in January the team needs a complete clear out.
Yeah, I completely agree. Is there any particular players who you would have going out in this window?
Possibly Jesse Lingard. Who's the other one? Jesse Lingard is one. You've got I can't remember now.
That's okay.
I'll come to me, maybe. Might come to me.
That's okay. We'll end the stream off here anyway. Thank you for coming on. Would you like to shout out your socials?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Really appreciated. You can find me on Twitter, which is rare, at NiallKane91. You can find me on Instagram, which is my name as well. And you can find me on Facebook, and you can find me in the live chat just shortly.
That's great. Thank you all for coming on. Thank you for coming on, Niall. I'm going to end off the stream here.
Thanks very much.
Thank you for watching today. Please hit the like and subscribe button. We are on the road here to 3K subscribers, and you can catch me on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Devils United. So you can catch me through there, and I'm on the road to 500 subscribers. But until then, we'll see you all soon. Goodbye for now.